Coach Holtz and ask him a couple of questions, and we'll wrap things up with some final scores. But
Tech has played really well on the road in the past and played well dropping a couple of those early heartbreaking games, but 0-5 on the road, that's no characteristic of Bulldog football.
and again, this one ends up being 14, but it was, it's a one score ball game with what, 4.5 minutes to play after Tech cut it to 38-31, but the Bulldogs not able to get the defensive stop they needed. We're joined by Louisiana Tech head coach Skip Holtz. And Skip, just let's fast forward to the fourth quarter. Your offense drove it down the field a couple of times, cut it to a 7-point ball game twice, once on a field goal, once on a touchdown. Just needed to try to get that stop and just really struggled to stop UAB running the football, especially in the second half.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I thought actually in the first half they did a pretty decent job. We made some mistakes in the first half. Really, when you look at Smoke dropped a punt, which hadn't happened in 2 years. Since he's been back there, he's done a great job. I trust him. But the wind picked up and started blowing, got him on his heels a little bit, and so we turned that ball over. But and then we had another 3rd and 19. Personal foul. I couldn't see it. It was on their sideline that gave them an automatic first down. At halftime, we had 6 penalties, which I think we averaged 5 a game. But I thought for the most part, I thought they competed in the first half. I did not think we tackled very well in the first half. And I think it got even worse in the second half. We seemed to, I don't know. We certainly weren't wrapping up. It was like we were throwing a shoulder at people. And then it seemed like when we got in the open field, we were diving at their feet, I guess, hoping they tripped over us. I don't know. It was atrocious tackling, as bad as I've seen. I mean, in college football, I thought it was awful in the way that we tackled. We talked for the last week that this game was going to be about stopping the run and being able to run the ball. And we were very patient with it as an offense. We tried to stay with it and keep running the ball. I think we probably had our high rushing output on the year at whatever it was, about 160 yards before we took that last sack. But we weren't able to stop the run. And that ultimately was the difference in the game. And that they had a number of long runs and they ran a stretch play in an inside zone and we couldn't get them on the ground. Hats off to their players, the energy that the running backs ran with and running through some arm tackles, but we certainly didn't tackle well enough today to be able to win.
Your offense in that first half got some opportunities, went 3 for 3 in the red zone with touchdowns, which I know is something that we have struggled with. You're up 21-7, and you mentioned it, those last 10 minutes of the second quarter, starting with the fake punt, when you're about to get the football back, that led to a touchdown. Then you mentioned the personal foul on the 3rd and 19 and the fumble, but that all sent at 17 unanswered points, and they go into the halftime with the momentum.
Yeah, and was hoping that we could come out and get a drive going in the beginning of the third quarter, and we went 3 and out twice, and then all of a sudden it seems like we picked it up a little bit and started getting some things going and getting some things moving, but. Now that 17-point swing, you're in a 21-7 football game, and you're playing pretty decent. I made the comment that it wasn't necessarily about going to try and go win this game and with a backup quarterback. It was about being smart. Don't turn the ball over. The offense did not have a turnover today. Punt the ball away, make them drive the distance, stop the run. I didn't feel like their quarterback could beat us just throwing the ball. But we come out the second play of the game, just like at UTSA, and we have a blown assignment at UTSA and give up a 70-yard touchdown. I think it was 3rd down. I think it was 3rd and 9 in the very first possession, and they get in empty. We get in man coverage. And really the reality of this is we need to play zone. I mean, we need to play zone. Just because they throw it underneath, we need people to rally to the ball and tackle them. And, We gave up a long play there that gave up their 7 points, but then I thought our defense played really well for about a quarter and a half. For about a quarter and a half, I thought they played really well, but then there in the end of the second quarter seemed like same thing. I mean, the daggone quarterback looked like Walter Payton running with the ball. I mean, we couldn't tackle. It wasn't just the running backs. It was a quarterback as well, because he had 2 drives there where he ran the ball. I mean, on quarterback draws and kept hurting us. We got him in 3rd and long plenty of times. We weren't very good on 3rd down, and we could not stop the run today. We couldn't tackle.
Final question from us, just your thoughts on the performance by JD Head.
I mean, I think he played I thought he played really well for a freshman. How's that? I thought he played really well for a freshman. He missed some. He wasn't perfect, but you're not going to be perfect in your first start. Thought he overthrew 2 balls today that they didn't have a chance, but for the most part, I thought he did a pretty decent job. We didn't ask him to do much. We asked him to hand the ball off quite a bit. I thought he made some pretty decent throws. I think he was into the game. Some things he's got to learn. He's running free in the open field and he slides a yard short of the first down. It's like, no, we're not. Our quarterbacks have to run. I watch your quarterback run. I don't mind if you're running and the guy's beelining right down your throat and going to hit you in the throat. I don't have a problem with you sliding, but out in the open field, when you can protect yourself and you've got a chance to make a first down, we need to make a first down. I don't want to be a sliding group. I want to be a competitive group. And I thought JD, I thought he did some really good things today as a freshman. I thought he had composure. I don't think the moment was too big for him. And I think when we asked him to do some things, he stood in there and he made some throws.
Thank you, Skip. We'll let you go on to your other media obligations. Thank you.
My best to hear.
AJ, Ethan, do you have any questions for Skip? AJ, go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, Skip. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing okay. Thank you.
Coach, so we talking about JD Head. We talked about him earlier on this week. You said that we were going to protect his recruitment and his red shirt for the rest of the season. What was the change that happened in your head?
There's not a change. He's only played in 3 games and can still be redshirted. He can play in up to 4 games and still be redshirted. So that policy thought has not changed. He can play in 4 games and still be redshirted, and this was one of his games.
AJ, go ahead.
Skip, I know throughout your time here, most of your time here, the bowl game appearance streak has been such a point of pride by the fans and the team, and something that you guys, have really worked hard for at this point in the season, kind of being where you are, uncharted territory. What's that kind of like, knowing that at this point in the season?
Yeah, this is losing this game's the reality that can't happen. We've certainly had our opportunities to make it happen. We just haven't been able to get it done. And this is not that objective, and that goal is not a offensive goal. It's not a defensive goal. It's not a special teams goal. It's a team goal. And we all have to own it. Coaches, players, there's certainly enough blame to go around with why we are where we are. I think the thing that it is, we haven't been in this situation normally in November. There's a lot of speculation about where we're going bowling, what bowls are out there, who we're going to play. There's a lot of energy, a lot of excitement and enthusiasm in the program. But that's gone. And we have 3 games that we're guaranteed that we have remaining. We have about 20 seniors on this roster that won't be back, that don't have an opportunity to play anymore. And I think we've got an obligation to them to put both feet in the boat and say, what do we have to do? We certainly aren't going to throw the towel in because we're not bowl eligible at this point and not compete in the final 3 games of the season. It is disappointing. It is something that we've been really proud of. And it's something that there've been an awful lot of coaches that have come through here. There've been an awful lot of players that have been through here in the last 7 years. And I think it's been a sense of pride for all of them. And it's unfortunate that we've broken that streak, but it's where we are right now. And so as a football team, we just got to find a way to do what we can do to find a way to win a game this weekend or next week, this upcoming week, playing against Charlotte.
Any other questions? Go ahead, Ethan.
Coach, the defense was still able to force a couple of turnovers that helped you guys get into the end zone. Can you talk a little bit about what the defense is able to produce when it comes to big plays?
Well, the defense created an interception. When it was 7-7 on the second possession, that Jaden Cole did a really nice job. They tried to throw a deep ball, and he did a really nice job of getting up underneath it, making the turnover. We had a block in the back, so it wasn't as good a field position as we could have had, but the offense was able to go down and put it into points. The next one after we scored was created on a kickoff, when we pooched the ball on the kickoff to keep it out of the returner's hands. And if they were going to fair catch it all day, we were going to continue to pooch it. But the wind was doing some crazy things to the ball. Obviously, they were just as affected by it as Smoke was. And so really both special teams had one turnover, but defense created the one interception and certainly gave us a shorter field. And the offense was able to capitalize on both of those turnovers early, drove the field for 7 points, and they were able to capitalize on the other two and make it at that point 21-7. And I felt pretty good about what we were doing and the way we were playing. Second half, they didn't do anything different. We did not tackle very well today, and that is a compliment to the running of UAB. I think the running back is a really talented player. He's one of the leading rushers in this conference. There's a reason why, but we certainly helped his cause today, as we did not tackle very well. But I think the defense has, it's almost like they've been feast or famine. There's been games where I think we went through a 2 or 3 game streak where we didn't have a turnover, and then we get 4 in one game. I mean, so it was nice to create the one early to give us a little bit of a lead, but we didn't tackle well enough or weren't able to stop the run to be able to win against a running football team.
Anything else for Coach?
Thank you, Coach.
Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Skip.